sometimes the reasons are only apparent to ourselves.
136.
What is apparent is that Jim Long is going to get match starts. And there's nothing Thomas can do about it. And that may just be a parting shot. So for Jim to get to 6 points in the table and to eradicate his negative leg difference, that was exactly what he needed to do. So 6 points and all square. He's not quite in the top 3 yet, but he is knocking on the door. And by the end of the day, he wants to be in the top 2, and that was the ideal start.
The group.
Derek, you require 91.
Back to the game here. Coulson on 91. Hits the treble 17, sweet as a nut.
Game shot on the second
Double
leg.
top
Derek
as well,
Coulson.
but he was hitting trebles as sweet as a nut in the last leg, but it was just the wrong ones.
And take 2 invaluable points. He knows exactly how big this is. What double does he want to leave?
He's been indecisive about this whole visit, but it's about this one.
71.
Oh, ay, 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 ay.
Derek,
And
you
was he
require
thinking
20.
about trying to lead double 18 there instead? Was he caught in 2 minds? He wasn't far from winning the match.
He was caught in 2 minds before the first start. He was looking at 19s before the 20s. It's all down to Coulson now. He does it. He takes
shot.
it.
And the
He's
match,
not sure,
Derek
but I can
Coulson.
tell you, Derek, that is in there. You have beat the birthday boy, Paul Hogan, 4-3. Hoagie so tight to holding his own throw there on that double 16. Couldn't have got any closer, but it's all about your winner here, Derek Coulson, and what that does for him. Look at the averages. 97 for Coulson, 4 from 8 on the doubles. Pretty impressive indeed. We're going to head into a short break. You've got time to put the kettle on, but come back and join us after that break when we have Neil Duff taking on Jimmy Vansky to break the throw, to level it up. And you have to then start convincing yourself, not now, Neil will be saying, not now. And what a massive return that is.
That is a World Championship winning caliber 180.
6.
Because as soon as Jimmy Vansky goes 2-6-1 after 6, he's thinking, I've got you now. But he hasn't. Not yet.
But when you stand there and have that happen and the guy hits a 28 and then hits a 180,
88.
as your opponent, you're just thinking, well, that's just a 2 tons. You try and make it into something else for yourself. And I love that part of the game of the different situations makes you think differently in your head as opponent. That's what it makes the game so magic.
The swings in this leg have been many. Vansky led.
105.
That 180 from
Jimmy,
Duff.
you require 144.
It may prove to be the biggest shot of his week. However, it all depends on whether Jimmy gives him a shot at tops. And if Jimmy walks away with a defeat here, he will wonder how. He was averaging 115 after 2 legs.
40.
And Duff has pegged it back. And won it.
And the match, Neil Duff.
What a wonderful game of darts that was. And Duff somehow wins with an average inferior by 7 points. Taking full advantage of having the throw and rescuing it back with one of the best 180s we've seen this week in leg 7. And 67% on his doubles in that match. His doubles have saved him, but his approach play gave him the chance. Things are getting very interesting now. Do not go anywhere, as round 2 will begin in Group C in Champions Week next. 4 players have a game in hand on Long after this. He's running out of time.
And in the situation, Jim's thinking, I don't want to go down to 0 here. He's thinking legs difference. And even if he can't win the game, if he can grab a leg or 2 legs, but Coulson is making sure that yeah, he'll give you chances. They're going to be chances like 1-4-2. Oh, hello, double 11.
120. Derek, you
He's only
require
had 2
15.
darts at a double in the match. Coulson yesterday beat Long 4-3 with an average of 102.
Game shot.
He's
And
just
the
beaten him
match,
4-0
Derek Coulson.
with an average of 109. What is it about Jim Long that makes Derek Coulson play the best darts he can play? He's just gone up a level and he's telling everybody that maybe this could be my Champions Week. Look at these. sensational numbers, and the fact that he missed 2 darts at a double and hit the bullseye instead of the 25 in the last leg, that could have been a little bit better. But what's better than having a 4-point cushion at the top of the table? Nothing much at the minute. Take it, Derek, and run. We are going to take that, but we're going to walk back with Game 5 coming up between Banks and Vansky.
You require 136.
We are guaranteed for someone to make 8 points after that. But what's happening here? Double 8. Game over.
Shot and the match, Jimmy Vansky.
Great performance. And that's going to be the last time those guys play this week, as Thomas Banks has got 3 games left to get some more points in the bag. But Jimmy is very much part of the equation. He bounces straight back from losing to Duff, and he's on 10 points with 3 games to go. It's still in his hands, but he'll have to sit and watch to see what happens in the 6th game at the end of round 2 between Duff and Hogan. Who's going to be closer after that from Jimmy Vansky? More dynamic doubling from this Group C campaign from all players. 67% is getting it done, and right now Jimmy is off the stage as a very happy man. 9 either.
Neil, you require 4.
Can he get past that dart?
Game shot.
It was a
and the
nervy
match,
one,
Neil Duff.
but Neil Duff is the man to go to 3rd position. His leg difference is a problem, but his points at the minute, well, it's promising because he's only 2 points behind 2nd placed Jimmy Vansky, who he's already taken care of today. So at the end of round 2, we do have the same 2 in the top 2 positions, and Duffman is at the head of the chasing pack on 8 points. It's going to be round 3. The crunch time round for moving in this table is next. Jimmy's remaining games after this. He's against the darts against Jim Long in game 10.
174.
And he's
Derek,
got
you
the darts
require
against Hogan
111.
in game 14. Even after the 174, Coulson still gets a dart at a double and takes it.
Shot on the first
It's
leg,
lethal.
Derek Coulson.
So lethal, in fact, you might as well call him Batman.
Derek, you require 144.
We did see this checkout last night from Tom Sykes. Are we going to see it again? Double 12. Wallop.
Game shot on the 3rd leg.
That is
Derek
right in the
Coulson.
middle. Connor Scott used treble 19 on 65. People have used treble 11. And that's why people look elsewhere. Just making sure that he has got double 6. He's looking for a perpendicular shot.
53.
And that might be that
Derek,
for
you
shots at
require
double
40.
for Jimmy against Derek.
Coulson has been superb here. Not his highest average, but just a super solid performance.
Game shot and the match,
In the position
Derek
he needed a
Coulson.
solid performance. It's a 4-0 win for Derek Coulson. He follows up that big average from his previous game against Jim Long. Gives it the come on there. He knows that was the game that probably makes him safe in qualifying for Saturday night on Champions Week. There are the averages. Nothing to split them really, just 0.41. But the interesting stat is the 4 at the top and the 0 on Jimmy Vansky's side. We're going to now head into a short break. You go and make yourself a cup of coffee and come back with us when we come back with Jim Long against Paul Hogan. Hoagie was
Jimmy
looking at
required
54
93.
tops then for the 134, but it's now all about Jim Long.
Game shot.
And the whole match
and the
has been about Jim Long. He takes the big match 4-0. Hogan, it's a game that he will want to forget. The two good buddies will go out back and chat about it, but Jim Long 91.09. Hogan with an average he won't be happy with, but 4 from 5 from Jim Long, 80% on the checkout. You really can't argue with that. We're going to head off into a short break, and when we return, it will be Neil Duff taking on Thomas Banks.
25? No.
64. Thomas, you require
He got it wrong.
8.
I don't think he realises yet. I don't think he realises yet.
Game shot on the second leg. Thomas Bank.
I really hope that Neil didn't see that. That was for his first
You
win
require 80.
since Tuesday. Nothing is coming easy for Duff. So he does it the
Game shot
hard
on
way
the
instead.
fourth leg. Neil Duff.
Because of the position in this leg and the fact that if we go the distance, Duff has the darts.
121.
But the game can be
require
completed
64.
in the next 6 darts, or it may be extended in the next 2.
44.
It's not extended.
Thomas, you require 96.
51. Tops.
Game
This
shot
time he
and the
hits
match.
tops.
Thomas Bank.
And he may just have dealt a huge blow to a former WDF World Champion in his quest for a first Champions Night. That's the first win of the group for Bulldog Banks. It was a bit of a turgid affair at times, but it was dramatic. It could have been 4-0. It could have been 4-1. And then Neil Duff fails to make it 3-3, meaning that 6 legs is all we get. And now Jimmy Vansky is going to be the happiest man in the building, seeing that Neil Duff has lost that one by 2 legs. We'll take a short break now, but when we come back, it is going to be Jimmy back at the hockey, and now he's got another problem. His name is Jim Long. Where's the ideal angle? He thinks over the top is better. He was right.
On a third leg. Jimmy Vansky.
And that's a sigh of relief for the big man.
21.
This would be great. He's trying to do a Tony the Tiger. Double 14.
Game shot on a second leg. Jim Long.
I'm not going to do the impression of Tony the Tiger, but it deserves every single bit of it because that really was a great shot. Double 16 will give Jim the provisional lead.
32. Game shot.
Jim wins by 4
Jim
legs
Long.
to 2. And he jumps Jimmy Vansky, which literally is a very, very hard thing to do. Figuratively, he's done it in the table. And he's now leading Jimmy by 1 leg in that table. They've got the same amount of points. But if you think this is all over, think again. They've only got 1 game left, those 2. But that battle was fascinating. And it's won by the Canadian on this occasion. And when we come back, it's all over to the Duff man. He's got the tall task of trying to take out the person at the top of the table. Has Neil Duff run out of time?
Here's Coulson going to confine him to the exit door.
No score.
Not on
Neil, you
this
require
occasion.
40.
Duff once again escapes.
RSVP.
Game
Yes.
shot on a 6th leg. Neil Duff.
Neil Duff somehow is still in the running. And when you've got the opportunity to get rid of a world champion in Champions Week, you have to take it.
88.
And he's now missed
Neil, you
in
require
multiple legs
138.
at the same height on the board. One from the left, one from the right. Can Duff somehow find a miracle? Double 12.
Coolest man in the place.
Oh my
Game shot
word!
And the match. Neil Duff.
World Championship quality needed on a shot like that, and he's still alive. That is the shot of the week. And we've seen some shots in Champions Week, but that takes the cake. Give the cake to Paul Hogan, it's his birthday. But the person who's just hit that 138 is still cooking. And now he stays in 4th position, but he's on 10 points with Jimmy Vansky and Jim Long. Wow. What more is there to say? This is one of the things we haven't actually seen this week yet.
145.
And we almost did.
Paulie required.
We're all here going, go on, you will.
Game shot. And
Paul
the match,
Hogan has.
Paul Hogan.
And he gets his first win of the day. He has got one more game to play. And it is a very, very important match indeed when he plays Jimmy Vansky in game number 14. We'll get to that in due course. But as you can see, Paul Hogan with a very steady display on the scoring. His doubles percentage was exceptional. And he puts pay to Banks' challenge in round number 4. So when we come back, it's Duffman once again. And he's up against Jim Long. They are both vying for that second spot. We've talked a lot about the Irishman in this final group game for him. But what about Jim? To equalise, he needs 60. It's not urgent. But he'd like to get it done.
Game shot on a 4th leg.
Job
Jim
done.
Long.
And now it's best of 3 legs to see who's still here and who isn't.
32.
They're both missing. The drama is palpable.
20.
Without hesitation, he's back to 10s and he gets rid of it immediately.
5th leg. Neil Duff.
One more leg for Duff. Long knows he had a big, big chance
6th
there
leg.
of breaking
Jim
the
to
Duff throw.
first.
He needs a maximum.
100.
He hasn't got one
Neil,
in this game.
70.
And the only thing he might be getting is the loss. Because Neil Duff is still alive.
Neil Duff.
Yet again, he wins by 4 legs to 3. He beat Coulson with the 138. He takes out 70. And now he has to wait to see if he's done enough. He's done everything he can. He's got a leg difference of -5. And he's in second position. But he has dispatched Jim Long, who leaves with Thomas Banks and Paul Hogan. And it's now down to Jimmy Vansky, who plays Hogan next. If Jimmy wins, he is going to go to second position and he will qualify. Do not miss the next game.
Jimmy, you require 130.
A bit of resilience, a bit of luck.
6s. What a start from Jimmy Vansky. 12 darter, and he completely eliminated Paul Hogan in that first leg. Well,
Jimmy, you require 40.
just how big the quality is from this performance.
Game shot on a 3rd leg. Jimmy Vansky.
One of the biggest games he's played this year.
4th
and
leg.
that's what
It's
he's
Coulson
doing.
Throw first. Game on.
It's miscounted
Jimmy, you require 32.
on the second dart for me, but this would be to make Saturday in Champions Week for the first time.
Game shot. And
Jimmy's
the match,
done it.
Jimmy Vansky.
And he's done it in style. It's not his best performance of the group, but it will feel like it. Jimmy's going to get second spot in the table. Derek Coulson's going to win the group. And Jimmy's going to be back on Saturday night for a chance at the jackpot. An incredible performance. No emotion from Jimmy whatsoever. I thought he'd show a little bit more than that. But maybe what he's going to do in due course is show us and tell us how he feels. But look at what he's just done. A game he needed to win against someone celebrating their birthday to try and knock out, not Paul Hogan, but Neil Duff. 103.66 the average, 80% on the doubles, with a 132 checkout. What more is there to know about the person who's going to Saturday? Let's find out with Henry Deacon on the stage with Jimmy Vansky.
Well, Jimmy, many congratulations through to tomorrow night's final. Just some of what has been a crazy day from your perspective.
Most definitely. For me, I just wanted to get a few wins and then, go through. But this is like every other week I've been here. You know, it's never going to be easy, and this shows it. I was proper nervous watching the games back in the room, and I knew after the last game I had a job to do. Come in fully focused and did my job. So I'm very happy to be standing here talking with you now.
Emotionally, has it felt like a bit of a roller coaster? Was there a point today where you thought maybe this isn't going to happen?
Yeah, definitely. When I started good again, and then I lost to Derek again. He played brilliant again, so fair play, really. And against Jim Long, my nerves got to me, and he just outscored me again, like the first match we played, and now he got over the line with it. So fair play to him. But yeah, to eventually go over the line to qualify, over the moon.
When you saw Neil beat Jim, you knew it was in your hands. Basically, win,
Yes.
you're through to tomorrow night's final. Was it just a case of just getting on here, just getting the job done, no messing about?
Yes, I always say when I'm starting the match, just win the first leg. That's the pressure gone for me, and I did that, and then I went flying, and yeah.
So, tomorrow night, Champions Night, for the first time in your career. You got very close last time. First of all, is it relief that you finally crossed the line, and how much are you looking forward to the big occasion tomorrow?
It's a big relief that I finally crossed the line. I think I played all right yesterday. I think I played not so good today, but on the key moments, I did the job. And yeah, and tomorrow I'm looking forward to this, 100%. I know my fans are going to be here, so this is going to be a wonderful night either way. If I win it, lose it, I'm going to have a blast tomorrow.
Does that give you that extra 5%, that crowd, the Jimmy Vansky, I don't know what you call them, but whatever your support base are called, does that give you that extra kind of 10%, that extra bit, particularly on a big night like tomorrow?
5%, 10%? Mate, this is definitely 50% more. It's up on my game, 100%. It's lovely to play with a crowd, and to have those fans is just massive for me, really.
Does it make you a different player then tomorrow?
100%.
More dangerous
Yes.
player?
Yes, 100%.
Well, Jimmy, many, many congratulations. You are into Champions Night tomorrow. We're going to see him and his very, very noisy section of supporters tomorrow evening. A salute to them. We're going to take a short break. When we return, we're going to see the final game of the session between Derek Coulson and Thomas Banks.
Night finals night plays
58.
very different
Derek, you require
than the rest
20.
of the week. And the Champions Week, the Saturday night finals night, is massively
Game
highlighted.
shot and the match.
And there we go. It's all over. Coulson takes his last game and goes into the Saturday finals night with a 4-1 win against Thomas Banks. He's done his standard type of game there. It's what he's been doing. It's his steady game, 90.16 the average. It's the checkouts again, 57%, 4 from 7, and that's exactly what he's been doing that's made him top this Group C table. We're going to head into a short break, and on the other side, we'll be meeting the man that topped Group C.
Well, that was Derek Coulson before play. This is Derek Coulson now, a man who is through to Champions Night tomorrow evening. When we sat in this studio on Saturday night, the three of us, you were in absolute disbelief that you won the week. How do you feel now you're into Champions Night?
Still in disbelief, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be sitting here, but I've absolutely loved it. It's the challenge has been amazing, and the players fantastic. I turned up and I just thought, again, I don't have any expectations. Nobody else would have any expectations of me. Just play darts.
So have you just been able to play this week with a whole heap of freedom and just see exactly what happened?
Exactly that. Freedom. As I said before, I know what I can do on the dartboard. I just had to produce it, and I knew I had to produce it this week. I'm really, really pleased with the way things went.
Well, let's talk about some of your moments over the last couple of days. Scott's been watching some of today's action as well. Let's talk about some of the big finishes, some of the big highlights, because at points it was those big finishes, wasn't those big moments where legs were tight, games were tight, that got you over the line.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was against Jimmy today, the 1-4-4. Yeah.
Right on cue.
I mean, I wasn't too sure if that second dart went in, and I had to check. And because I'm not a fast player, I just took my time and thought, right, just aim at the target. And it went in, and even though I was 2-0 up, I felt it changed the game and maybe just had a knock-on effect to Jimmy.
Scott, you've been watching Derek all day today. What would be your assessment of what you've seen from him, not just today, but also from what we saw on Saturday night?
I think the last week has improved you as a player. There's no two ways about it. Last Saturday, you could see that experience that has improved you as a player. Do you think and I got a question. Do you think it was good to have the first couple of days off here this week to let that sink in last Saturday and then come back here Thursday with a different mindset with maybe than what you'd have had if you'd been thrown in on Monday?
Absolutely, 100%. When you mentioned I was in Group C, I was genuinely happy that I was in Group C. It gave me a little bit of time off, go back, bit of practice, and come back and restart again. I think if I'd come back straight on the Monday, honestly, playoff, I might have struggled a little bit. I'm an old man now, so there's only so much I could play.
What was the reaction like back home, and in terms of your phone blowing up when you won on Saturday evening?
Yeah, it was amazing. The support I have from the guys back home, from everybody. I mean, the guys in Market Drayton are amazing. They've supported me so much. I've lived there now for 14 years. And the dart scene, it's only a small town, but the players there are fantastic. We've got some great players in the town, but they all support me.
You actually broke a top 10 Champions League record average against Jim Long early on today, that 109. You're now in a club alongside Luke Littler, for example.
Who, sorry?
You know that kid who...
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. I mean, when you're up there, I mean, not once did I think about averages. As Scott knows, when you're just trying to win games, and that's all I was trying to do is win the game. Every leg counts as well, so I had to concentrate a lot. I was told as I came off it was 109. Yeah, it's my best ever average. So in a competition, so yeah, brilliant.
I just want to talk about Derek's mentality, Scott, because he said he's playing here with a free roll. As an opponent, how difficult is it to play a player like Derek, who's got nothing to lose, can just go out there and enjoy himself, playing with no pressure at all?
It makes life very difficult. That he's not going to be able to continue to do that if he keeps playing like he is, because there's always going to be, there soon will start to be a target on your back, and then you have to learn another aspect of the game. But I've just been so impressed with you since I've met you at the seniors tour, and you're one of the genuine reasons why the seniors tour is always going to work, because going to find people like you, and I also totally understand, coming from a small place as well, how they call you one of their own and they love you for being you, and that gives you nothing but encouragement for every time you go out. So as long as you can continue to do that, I think there's a bright future in the next few years. That's no two ways about it.
Can I ask about the seniors tour and what that's done for you and how it's put you on the map, and actually the opportunities that it's given you and how it's improved you as a player?
Oh yeah, I mean, without the seniors, I would not be sitting here right now. 100%. When I first turned up on the seniors, I thought, how many good players are over 50? Have I got a chance? And I walked in the room and it was like, yeah, I forgot about these people. And it was mad. And I didn't play great the first few weekends I went, and I thought, okay, if I'm going to compete on this, I've got to raise my game. I was a decent player, but I had to raise my game. And the seniors is what's done that. And also coming here now and being in that back room with guys practicing and on that stage, which I absolutely love that stage, it's just an amazing throw. It's just helped me no end. I just wish now I was maybe 30 years younger.
Well, Derek, we're going to have another chat with you in just a second. Myself and Scott are going around at everything else that we've seen today. First of all, we're going to have a look at the table to confirm Derek Coulson's placed through to the final alongside Jimmy Vansky, who had to sweat for it in the end, but got the better of Paul Hogan by 4-0. And you could tell in that interview me and Jimmy had on the stage that was just pure relief in the end.
Yeah, absolutely it was. And he got himself in a position in the early part of the group where I just need another win here and I'll be fine. And then as the group went on, he wasn't getting the wins. So then that puts massive, massive pressure on that game. And to come through it the way that he did, with that 100 average again, right under pressure, that shows that he really does have the minerals for the game. There's no two ways about it.
In terms of Neil Duff, he lost a couple of games 4-0 right at the beginning of his Group C. It turned out in terms of legs difference, that was the factor that cost him.
Yeah, very much so. But I think even today, he was getting away with it a little bit today. People were missing doubles against him today. But then he was responding by taking big shots out like the 138. And so you have to give him credit. Although he didn't quite make it, he gave himself the best possible chance. And if it kind of fell away from him today, it's probably the Thomas Banks game, who was sat there at the bottom of the group, and he wouldn't have expected it, because he's not a daft player, Neil Duff. He knows that Thomas was going to come to that game with something because he was bottom of the group playing with freedom. So for Neil, he knew that was probably the most dangerous game for him today. And that turned out to be the way and possibly why he didn't make it.
Sorry for bringing this up, Derek, but I want to talk about that 138 in the last leg. Talk about the composure. I know he didn't make it through, but the composure you've got to have under that pressure to pull off a shot like this.
Well, I said it at the time. He just looked the coolest guy in the area. He really didn't seem... He took a step back. It didn't look and give anybody any inclination that he was going to miss that double 12, did he?
No, I mean, I just gone in, so I think I went in double 4, didn't I, to leave 28. And I didn't look at the first dart, but I was hoping when I turned around it was just a big 19. But when I saw it was in the treble 19, I thought he's going to give himself a shot. And when it went in, the class of Neil Duff, under that pressure, that he had to ping that, because I was going to hit double 14, I'm sure of it. To hit that was pure class, and that shows the quality that he has.
But it is you that's into Champions Night. This is the tournament bracket then as we go into our final session of qualification here at the Live Lounge. Connor Scott confirmed his place through on Wednesday as the winner of Group A. Derek Coulson and Jimmy Vansky making their way through Group C. And then Group B tonight will round off who is going to be the final 3 players that make it through to Champions Night. We'll have another chat about Group B in a second, Scott, but I just want to talk about the 3 players that are through already, because you look at the likes of Connor, the likes of Derek, the likes of Jimmy, 3 different types of players at different stages of their career and their developmental path. There's a very interesting plot that's beginning to thicken here.
Yeah, absolutely is. And I think, we are in Champions Week. This is where you need to shine. You don't want to leave your best starts out there in the back room on the practice board. And so far, from the 3 players that have gone through, we've seen a lot of good stuff up there. So that only bodes well for Saturday night.
In terms of Group B, we're going to watch that tonight from 10 o'clock on the Super Series YouTube channel. Western Sykes are in control on 6 points. We'll talk about it a bit more later on this evening, but what do you expect to happen there? Are we expecting big nights from Marvin, Richard and Adam to try and catch up?
Well, the thing with the Group B is you've got to be on it from the get-go, because you only get the 4 games and Group B can really pass you by very quickly. So whoever's going to go through tonight really needs to make a really quick start and get out the blocks quick.
Derek, final word goes to you. This trophy, you're having a look at it now. What would it mean to you if you lifted this tomorrow night?
I don't want to think about it, if I'm honest. I'll treat tomorrow as a straight knockout. Every game is a knockout. I know we get 2 games in the group, but for me, I have to win every game. Simple as that. I'm not going to go in and go, if I get 3 legs, if I get 2 legs. I'm just going to go up there and try and win every single game.
What's going to be the preparation? Because you have won the Group C, so one of the advantages you do get is about 24 hours before tomorrow night. What are you going to do in the intervening period to try and get yourself best prepared for a tilt at this trophy?
Just relax. So I'm just going to relax. I was a bit under the weather this week. I had a bit of a cold, and it's starting to clear up now. So, I'm just going to watch a bit of darts tonight, relax a bit, and maybe have a little wander around tomorrow during the day, bit of time. But probably from about 4 o'clock onwards, I'll get my head on from there.
Biggest night of your darts life?
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, Derek, we shall see you at Champions Night
Thank you.
tomorrow evening. Many congratulations. Scott, thank you for your company as ever. Group B later on tonight. And by the end of play this evening, we are going to know the 6 names that will be playing for this trophy. This is the exciting bit of the week now, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. We're just coming to the culmination of it all, and we've got another 5 players that are really excited to get that Group B done, because they want to get in here and chat with you like Derek does.
Well, chaps, many thanks. Derek, congratulations to you tomorrow night. Scott, see you later on this evening. We'll see you later on this evening as well, 10 p.m. on the Super Series YouTube channel for the second part of Championship Friday here at Champions Week at the Modus Super Series. As far as Group C is concerned, it's Coulson and Vansky that make their way through. Group B will culminate tonight. We'll see you then.